Today I'm going to talk about LiveBinders, which is an online program or content management system that allows teachers to develop content and to connect to other content readily available on the internet and present it in an organized fashion in one location that this program calls a binder. So we're going to begin with the home page. This is what you see when you visit the site for the first time, and I would encourage each person browse down and see some of the binders that have already been created. Now think of a binder as a repository for all of the content that you want to create. Now in this program you can create multiple binders, and then you can put those binders inside what the program calls shelves. But before you do anything, you're going to need to create an account, and you can do that free of charge. Once you do that, you click on the My link, and this goes to your main area of management of your binders and also of your shelves, which are, think of those as just folders that contain binders, or the binders rest upon a shelf, like real binders would sit on a shelf. The shelves hold these binders, these repositories of content. Now I've chosen to create binders along the lines of classes taught at the high school level. So the first one I want to show you is the U.S. government. This is the way that students would see the binder contents. And you can see the tabs at the top, the first page, and then the introduction. I've created the content here that you see. And then this page I connected to a link that had a picture of John Locke, and that's what you're seeing there. I typed briefly on the other side with a hyperlink to go to more about John Locke. Click on the next tab. Here I've linked to an entire website, or at least this is the home page of that website. So a user could navigate this site within the frame or tab of my binder. These remaining tabs are sort of in the early developmental stages. And so we can see that this is the way a binder structure looks, with tabs at the top, content below. And so I have begun this binder called American History. Creating a new binder is very, very easy. And before you do that, I would encourage you to click on my first binder, or your first binder. It shows you basics of creating a binder. So that would be a good short tutorial to look at. But creating a binder is just as easy as going to this button and clicking New Binder. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and create another binder. I've already got an American History 1. Well, I happen to have an American History 2 class. And again, I build my binders according to the classes I teach. You don't have to. You could build binders according to assignments that you give, according to projects, according to anything that you want. I just have chosen to build them according to classes, and then to fill them with content according to the needs of the students in those particular classes. We have room for a brief description here, and let's go down here, and I'm going to go ahead and select Education under the category. Now this is important. What's below that is public or private. We're going to go ahead and go with the default private, which means limited access. And so below here you have an access key. I'm just going to choose a simple one. Now you can choose a more robust key, or think of that as a password, but whatever you choose, once you're done with these properties of the new binder, you just click Create New Binder, and there it is, with 3 basic tabs. The first tab is just called Tab 1, second Tab 2, Tab 3. Well, you can rename those, by the way, any way you want, and I'm going to just go ahead and say Introduction, which is a great starting place. And maybe I don't want the introduction to link directly to a web page, so I'm going to go up here and click Content. I'm going to say Text, and I'm going to go down, and in this page I kind of want a title at the top and text in the column below, so I'm going to select that. And then you close this, and voila, there you go. Look at there. There's your title portion, and so I'm just going to write title to have something there. And then you go ahead and click here, and it opens up a text box where you can either manually type or have copied and pasted right here anything you want of text. And when you're done making the changes you want, be sure to click the Save button, because if you don't, you won't save any of the work you've done. So you want to make sure to save. And each time you save, over here on the right, you'll see a version number appear. I just saw it said version number 1. Well, you may end up with hundreds of saves because every time you make a change to anything in your binder, you're going to have a save. Let's go to the second tab to show you a different arrangement here of content. We're going to click here. We're going to say text, but now we're going to pick media and text, and then we're going to close. And looky here, lo and behold, we have it says enter URL. Well, that's for the media that's going to go over here. And I happen to have called up already a nice picture of John Locke that's available free of charge on the internet. I'm going to just copy that. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to paste that in. Boom. And then look, insert, and there's my picture. I've linked to it. It's drawn it up, called it, placed it right here. And then over here you go and you could then enter in or copy and paste in all of your content. And when you're done, don't forget there's the save again. Well, you just repeat that pattern over and over and over again. And you know what? I'm just going to call this, what do you think? Philosophy? Do you think philosophy would be the way to go? I think so. And we're going to go ahead and pick a color. I think red would be good. Let's go ahead and go down here. Red. I want red, red. There we go. That's not even as red as I like. I like that red. We're going to say OK. See, we can change the color. You have all of these abilities and they're wonderful to do. But remember, always click Save. Always click Save. Now, if you want to go back and see again your main management area, you just go over here and click My Binders, and there we go. And guess what? Now we have the brand new American History 2 binder that I've created. And again, just to remind you, you're going to want to head and put that on a shelf. And in my case, I only have the high school classes, so we're going to add it to that shelf. Again, you can have many different shelves to organize your information. A large part of LiveBinders is organizing your information, and that's a good thing. Now, as far as the students are concerned, let's go here and open this one up. Again, that's the way a student will see it. Students need to be able to see the content that you choose as a teacher in an organized fashion. And that's one reason I like the term content curation. In other words, you're curating content. You're the teacher. You're putting in the material, the content you want them to see. That way they don't get lost searching around all kind of websites, many of which have a questionable quality and value. But you've called up the sites you want. You've manually entered the content that you want. And so it's just as easy as going in and editing. A lot of this is just a matter of practicing, putting in all that you want until you get it to display the way you want. I would recommend that you do it for also parents to have access. That way they can see what their students, their children are learning in your class, and it would be comforting. Also, your students can keep up with your class expectations at any time simply by opening up the binder. Now I want to make sure to show you how they're going to be able to know what binder to open up. You know, that's very important. I've got the U.S. government class is a little bit farther along. Let's go back to the edit mode here. Leave that. Let's go back to edit on this. So we're opening up this U.S. government class. Let's just say it was ready to go right now. Well, all we have to do here is click on the share button, and it opens up this screen here, and it shows the binder's ID and this all-important link to the binder. That's the URL that goes directly to this binder, which happens to be a class called U.S. Government. Now you also have options to share the binder this way, but I like to just email the link to students. So that's what you're going to do. You copy that. Now make sure you specify your access. Well, I have already, when I created the binder, specified it was private and has a key of 55555, 5 fives. And once I'm satisfied with all this, I can go ahead and click Save just to make sure everything is going to be the way I want. And all you'd have to do is email that key to the students, and then they'll be prompted the way to get into the binder and be able to see whatever you want them to see. do whatever you want them to do. There's another benefit to these binders. It's has to do with a pedagogical benefit, and that's that the students are learning how to navigate quality information in a web browser using a content management tool like LiveBinders. Now, this is important because if you'll set a good example for the students by showing them quality content and good navigation, easy navigation, they will be able to learn from your example and set up their own accounts in LiveBinders where they can create their own binders to post content that they create. Now that's important because some students have chosen to use this tool to create academic portfolios, for example. And whatever they do when they create the product, it gives them the joy of creation, and it also it gives them the experience of using technology, and it also enhances their learning because as they do the things in this program, they're going to also learn the content as they incorporate it. For example, you may give students an assignment where they're to use LiveBinders to create a binder that's sort of like an online report. You know, for some aspect, in my case, it would be of American history or U.S. government or economics or any of the other social studies. So any teacher in any discipline can use this tool not only to present information, but also to allow the students to develop and present their own information. So that's another great thing about this tool is you don't have to be, it's not limited to an education professional. Students can use this tool as well. Well, I believe I've gone through all of the major movements of my binder, and I hope that you've learned a whole lot. And I want to encourage you, if you'll simply go to the main website of livebinders.com, and you can get started there. You'll see that home screen. You go ahead and create an account. You can get a free account very easily, and then you're ready to go. You can start building binders right away. You can start creating shells for the binders to go on. You can build them according to your academic area, according to your desired binder specifications. Again, I chose classes. You can do themes. You can do specific subjects. You can do projects. You can do all kinds of things in LiveBinders. But it's a great tool. It allows you to develop and present content that you choose for your students. It allows your students to learn course expectations, learn directly from the content that you present, and also learn, as I said, to develop things on their own when they set up their own accounts. So I appreciate your time. I hope it's been beneficial for you, and good luck. And remember, practice, practice, practice.